move on into our next topic, and we'll hear from Pawan Joshi. He's the Senior Vice President of Products and Strategy at supply chain solutions company E2open, a close partner of Shippeo's. They jointly collaborated on a global visibility project with leading tobacco company Philip Morris International. So he couldn't make it here today. So welcome, Pawan. How are you? Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Asha. How are you all doing?
So we're very happy to welcome you, even if you're not here, but we're happy to have you joining us to speak about this topic today. So Pawan, what is the concept? Probably just tell us the concept of network of networks. Can you tell us more about how E2open and Shippeo, work together on this concept? Please share about that.
Sure, absolutely. For us, if the best way to anchor this and answer this question is to put it in the context of our one of our clients, right, or any one of our clients, they have the concept of demand and how they sell their products. They have the concept of how they manufacture their products, and they have the concept of how they move products from where they're made to where they need to be sold. And as they're making their journey into our hands as end consumers. When you think about the number of enterprises that are involved, and John touched upon this, in the past, the focus really happens and the action really happens outside the four walls of our clients. I would say about 80-90% of them. Every single one of those entities that are helping our customers bring products and services to market has a technology infrastructure. They have the concept of how they're transacting, they're bringing visibility, they're running their business processes and their operations. So it is really, if you think about it in the context of our clients, really foolish to expect that you would have one network that manages everything. And if a client does have one network that manages everything for them from an end-to-end perspective, it's the suppliers, before them and the distributors after them that will also want their own network. So at the end of the day, what we're really talking about is this closed loop system of networks that constantly interacts and intersects to create that. We talk about supply chains almost in a linear fashion. It really is a network, of multiple nodes that come together. Sometimes customers are suppliers, sometimes suppliers are customers. So when we think about a network, it's really from a technology standpoint, how do you actually enable this interactivity and connectivity without having people to come and rewire themselves into this thing? So we're a big believer of that. We believe that our clients need that kind of a cross connect between these networks like Shippeo has on the visibility side, network like E2open has on the ocean shipping side or the procurement side or the distribution side. And if we put our clients, like you mentioned, Philip Morris, in the middle of it, how do we bring our own networks together to power and create value for our customers? That really, in my mind, is the concept of network of networks. And as technology providers, it's our duty to really enable interoperability between our respective networks, and that's really, I think, what we're trying to do with this concept here.
Well, Pawan, do you think that the visibility sector is heading towards some sort of commoditization, and what does it mean for customers, and how is E2open and Shippeo's strategy actually different compared to other providers?
Yeah, I think we got to think about the concept, that economists refer to as scarcity value, right? And when you don't have something, its value artificially gets inflated. That is very true with data. When you don't have data, you will pay whatever it takes to get that data. But once you have that data and you start getting that data, you got to figure out what do you do with it. I think visibility, especially in the logistics world, is heading in that direction. All the great work that has been done to really acquire data and to provide visibility, all the innovation that companies like Shippeo have done to get easy access to that data is really key. And what we're really doing is we are reducing that scarcity value. But once you have that data, what do you do with it? And Olivier talked about it. He talked about how do you take visibility and actually convert that into something meaningful? How do you take data and get to visibility? And how do you then take visibility and start making decisions? It's not about where's my truck. It's about what does it mean once I know where my truck is? What is on that truck? Where is it? When is it going to get to the destination? Which customers, which distribution centers, which factories are going to get affected? I think that's the next evolution. So we should think about data really as getting commoditized, but you want to move up the value chain and start talking about how do you leverage that data. I think that's really the fundamental part. And while it's going to get commoditized, the true differentiation is going to come from what do you do with that visibility.
All right. And Pawan, Gardner mentioned E2open and Shippeo's partnership in the Lost Magic Quadrant. That's great. And so why did you choose Shippeo as a strategic partner? What were your, reasons?
Yeah, I think I look at that along three broad dimensions. I think we look at the core value of our companies, and we put in both our cases really the clients in the middle of it, and it shows up in high customer sat scores that Lucian and Pierre talked about, and Shippeo is known for in the industry. I think if we can jointly create value for our customers, I think that's the true sign of a partnership. If you're all trying to figure out how we create our individual value and not put customers in the middle and their interest in the middle, I think that falls apart. So for us, when we discussed and when we talked about it, that was one of the core constructs that we aligned on. I think second is in the software world, it's all about people and it's alignment of people. So, the culture, the connection that, I personally had and our company has with Pierre, Lucien, and the rest of, the team there at Shippeo has been phenomenal. I think we are companies which have, our cultures aligned pretty well. And I think the third, probably the most important thing is really the win-win situation, right? It is we understand strategically, it's not just about data, it's not just about visibility, it's what do you do with it? We have been doing this for the last 18, 20 years in spaces around procurement, around manufacturing, around distribution, around planning, and similar concepts around logistics. And that really resonated when we had our discussions. And the Shippeo feels the same way. Pierre, Lucien, as they're leading the company, feel the same way. That it's really the next evolution. It's about so what and how do you actually correct it once you have visibility. So those are, I think, the three reasons why it was an alignment, and that I think is the foundation of our partnership here.
Thank you for sharing, Pawan. Pawan, I didn't ask you, where were you joining us from today? Where are you based?
I am joining you from Dallas, Texas, in the United States.
Okay.
At 7 a.m. So really happy, and thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pawan. I think, yes, he deserves a big round of those guys. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.